I even want to say the other pronunciation of that. So on the top left, we're gonna have JackDReaper here playing the Terran. On the other hand, it's gonna be eXo.Specs on the bot drive on the blue Protoss. So JackDReaper taking the first game a while ago in this best of 3. Solid drop play right there in the previous maps. Now we're gonna be on Catalyst LE, and we see some standard stuff once again coming out from both teams. Both players. I keep saying teams. I keep forgetting this is a 1v1, not not like Overwatch. So Daks comes out as well as the gateway, and interesting that the gateway all the way to the caution area. It's like he's just trying to fit the map. It's really cute actually. So it's actually might not get scouted here by JackDReaper in the first place. Why is this on? Yeah, so the SCV just gonna go for a quick little scout. Well, might be surprised. Might be very surprised to see no gateway. And I think this is the Terran, like, what? Why is there no gateway? He also sees that a probe is being put here onto this expansion, and yeah, the expansion being built. So SCV spots all this, but doesn't see any production so far here from the Protoss. Sayang di ka na ako naglalaro StarCraft 2. I understand, man. There's no scene. So basically, I'm doing this. I'm an Overwatch guy, but I'm doing this to help out the community. Requested by both the community and by Blizzard. Well, no, a few members of community, and just like, can you do the same thing kaya with StarCraft? And I'm like, okay, I don't mind. I'll try my best to provide some local content and coverage by doing some casting, doing a 1v1 system as well. So tomorrow there will be a 1v1 live between Xenos and Extinct, one of the teammates there of Specs. So back to the game. Let's actually check out the game. No real upgrades in there. Production tab. So far, Cybercore is gonna be coming up here for eXo.Specs, putting it in the middle. So not really trying to hide anything anymore. The gateway was hidden a bit, but this might actually make JackDReaper think he can go for a very aggressive play. But if eXo.Specs is playing greedy, playing a 3-base expansion or something like that. So yeah, the Reaper comes out exactly on cue. He thinks that there is no way in hell that eXo.Specs can actually try and counter this, but the Zealot already on guard duty, and the Reaper just gonna jump up, and here comes the harassment. The probe coming out, getting a pistol shot already to the face. Classic Stalker gonna come out as well, but the probe now being taken care of. Let's see, that's gonna be one probe, and that's two right there. The Reaper already doing work, just already putting in the damage that he should do. He's getting being paid really well right here, and he's gonna fly off into the sunset just like the Lone Ranger would in the first place. Malakas si Phoenix Sonsky, Monster Alsa siya. I would love to meet all the people in the StarCraft scene, like one by one. I'm gonna try, I'm gonna try my best. So I'm gonna keep that name in mind. Maybe get him for another show match later on. So the Reaper right now gonna go for the harass play, just tossing out the cluster bomb there to knock out the Stalker. I remember when cluster bombs used to do damage, and I remember when the Reapers threw grenades at buildings. That's actually very strong. Like, it was very cheeky. Like, you have all these jetpack guys, and they're just tossing all these grenades right there onto the building, just doing a bunch of damage. So Helen's gonna be coming out as well here for JackDReaper. Classic 1-1-1 once again, 2 base here for both sides. And what I've noticed in Legacy of the Void is the fact that, of course, the mineral patches have been reduced. You only need 16 workers actually to fill it up, and it really promotes you coming out of your shell, coming out from a 1-base system to at the very least 2, usually 3 or 4. It reaches at that point, and we were just in the 4-minute mark and just like 2 bases out and about. Little rocks being broken here by the Stalkers. This might take a while actually, because the Zealot just watching him. He's like a foreman, doesn't want to actually do manual labor in the first place. Captain switch out to PUBG. I don't blame him. Everyone switches to PUBG for one reason and one reason only: money. Because there are tournaments there, a lot of tournaments there, and StarCraft doesn't. Overwatch doesn't as well, besides the ones I make and the one upcoming this September to November. And so yeah, it's not as profitable. If you do want a esports career as a player, it's best to go for PUBG, Dota, League, ML, AOV, those kind of things. So the medevac gonna go for a quick low run by, and the Stalker finally spots it. Oh, this is very dangerous now, because the Hellions, if they all die, that's gonna be 400 mils down the drain. The Observer just keeping an eye on this, and sadly, eXo.Specs doesn't have any way to actually take the medevacs out. That could have been so bad there for JackDReaper. Gonna be the Hellions, gonna drop by, gonna drive instead. It's like, you know, you're in a flaming helicopter and you're like, get me off this wild ride. I don't want to die without even getting the opportunity to do absolutely anything. So this time, Blink is going to be coming out here from eXo.Specs. That is actually the perfect thing to go for. Like, he went for charge first a while ago, but he didn't really have the Zealot army in the first place. Hellions doing a lot of damage. They're burning those probes left and right. Look at that, the spread damage doing work. Oh, the workers forced off the middle round, but here comes the Stalkers just boxing in those Hellions. A lot of minerals going to be going down the drain right now here from JackDReaper. All those Hellions just cleaned up. It's not going to be Hot Wheels time here for JackDReaper. And just looking at that. Where's units killed? Look at that, 7 kills rather for eXo.Specs. That's all Hellions right there. Solid defense coming out from the Protoss, and it's his time to now take the supply lead. And when a Protoss actually has more supply than you might be a little scared, because as has been provided by both lore and, you know, in-game implications, the maxed out Protoss army, the Golden Armada, or just a huge fireball of gateway units, very strong to contend with. You can pretty much struggle to actually beat a Protoss without using caster units. If you just go for the A-click, you're gonna pretty much 9 times out of 10 lose to the Protoss in a 200 versus 200. Pwede ba yung mga lumang replay sa SC2 sa'yo? Yeah! I know it logs me out of Battle.net, but it's okay. I'll try, I'll figure it out. Just send them over. Check out my Facebook page and how do you send replays over in the first place. And the Liberator gets wasted. Just eXo.Specs this time finally waking up. He has been so on point with all the harassment coming out from JackDReaper. Jack plays this game where he sends aircraft from both sides, gonna go for a quick little pincer attack, just trying to divide the attention. And eXo.Specs is now on it with two things. One, he has these Stalkers actually in place to serve as mobile cannons, and two, his APM. Like, this time, let's go for APM. I keep forgetting what APM is. But his APM has been pretty on point so far. He's just, you know, slowing down a little, trying to build the next expansion. So next will be coming out. He puts the pylon in first, so he can either put a cannon in or just at least try to go for the warps with the Stalkers. It's gonna be by a robotic army here for eXo.Specs right now. It's 4 legs good, 2 legs bad kind of thing. Just a few zealots there in the mix. Now, due to be engagement, and the siege tanks actually get caught up. That's gonna be the low ground there for JackDReaper. Gonna be engagement here. Here comes the Blink. The siege tanks gonna come out, and the force field's so on point, putting the Marines and the Marauders all the way in the back line. The siege tanks get caught out, and it's gonna be eXo.Specs cleaning up the advancing army here from JackDReaper. Very unfortunate right there. And the Protoss is now hunting for blood. Look at that Marauder just getting shot up by the Stalkers. Will he go for the Blink forward to take care of the Marauder? The high ground is there. Oh, the Marauder still gets caught out. That is absolutely unfortunate. I think I replaced the Phoenix. Thank you. Okay, yeah, I would appreciate that. Thank you, Terror. I don't know how to schedule this replay / StarCraft content sessions yet. For now, I'm not sure when I can do it in my busy Overwatch schedule, but I'll try my best. And in the meantime, JackDReaper trying his best here to contend with this. And look at that SCV army preparing themselves and just getting in front of it. Just the SCVs, very, you know, they're just trying to make a living here, working their hardest to go for the minerals, to go for the gas, but then they get used as fighters. They're not even built for fighters. That's why they dive so fast. But they're so expendable, they can get replaced by mules. And now I feel really bad for the SCVs. It's like they're just, you know, the common man. Just contractualization right there. I don't know, Jollibee or some shit. But I'm sad. I got sad by my own commentary. But anyway, it is what it is. That's life. JackDReaper gonna go for another harass play. Look at that. Already queuing up the long journey here for the medevac. If I were an airline medevac, I would ask for a refund because it's literally the longest path to go through. This is gonna be, the layovers are not gonna be worth it. It's gonna be off schedule. And the Stalker's already on point. Look at this. It's the eXo.Specs just already prepared for the incoming drop. Just noticing after a little while, look, Observer already noticed it, but he knows that Jack is gonna try this again, and the timing for it is actually perfect. Gonna be engagement up in front, Marauder going for a little harassment, but now the Medivac gonna fly in, the Stalker already just going for a few pot shots. Immortal comes out as well, the Marines right now having to contend with these two Stalkers, but all the action being focused heavily here out in front by eXo.Specs, not really minding his way so far, so the two Stalkers do die in the first place, but it's really bad here for JackDReaper because the SCVs are being pulled once again. And look at that income. Look at that income. Heavily in favor of eXo.Specs. Almost double. No, another! Oh my god, eXo.Specs, can you please stop building those pylons in those places? Just getting shut down once again. I'm not sure this time if that was on Artosis or not, but still, just all those things coming offline. JackDReaper shutting this down, shutting production. He's literally a factory worker on strike right now. But now, finally, the Terran getting back in terms of mineral count and gas, so the mules doing their work, the SCVs transferring over to the other side. In terms of upgrades though, it's gonna be a bio-heavy comp here from JackDReaper. On the other hand, charge coming out, blink is out, so it's gonna be a gateway versus barracks composition from both squads. Look out into production, press. +2 attack for the Protoss gonna be coming out soon. On the other hand, +2 to both attack and armor here for the Marines, for the bio units, and of course the siege tanks, the sieging up, still very strong in any form, shape, or matter. The Protoss army actually looking very scary so far. This is on the third base, can easily go for a fourth at any time. Just, you know, floating a little minerals here and there, just try to play safe. We'll build all these pylons right now, so doesn't get supply gap. So this is gonna be eXo.Specs going for the GG200. Basically, as a Protoss, I do this when I'm like, okay, I have all these minerals and I just want to build so many units. I don't even care what units I'm gonna build, whatever I can fit with the rest of my money. So it's probably like me zealots, maybe some stalkers as well, just, you know, as much as the gas can handle it. eXo.Specs will try to max it out, and it's gonna be the warp prism actually warping in those zealots. It's gonna be a drop, so JackDReaper might take you know, might have a taste of his own medicine. Scans come out, not really spotting anything, and oh, it's that Psystorm! So we're gonna see some High Templar coming out here from eXo.Specs. The Medivac already being hampered by the advancing army here from eXo.Specs. JackDReaper just gonna fly off, and the real question is, will eXo.Specs just give this base here to JackDReaper, or will you build some cannons, go for a warp in? It's gonna be a two-prong attack once again from the Terran. Scan comes out, and here comes the drop. The Zealot's gonna charge in, but they're gonna die in a blaze of glory. The Marauder don't take a bunch of damage, and the Marines right now. Oh, Jack didn't actually come out with all those things. In the meantime, here comes the engagement into the middle line. The eXo.Specs is doing a lot of damage here. The Zealots out in front. The siege tanks not really doing as much slash damage as they could, thanks to the immortal barriers, and this looks really very bad here for the Terran. Luckily, he's doing a lot of damage here onto the expansion base. Billie Jean just, you know, standing by, but oh, the Medivacs do fall, and that is absolutely unfortunate. The gas, it's not about the minerals, honestly, it's about the gas that Jack is investing onto these Medivacs, and them being wasted like that, just very unfortunate. You can replace Marines, sure, but Medivacs aren't the cheapest thing in the world. Gonna fly off, just try to get away. Oh, the blink will say no means no. It is gonna be a forward advance once again here for the Protoss, and this is very dangerous here for JackDReaper. Once again, the Terran army just trying to rebuild itself with the bio ball. Once again, the barracks just trying to whip some convicts, some trainees into shape. The Observer right now seeing the poor conditions here for the Terran. Look at the supply depot, it's really cute. But the scan comes out, and now he sees the advancing army. The Sentries actually has a lot of energy. Will we have some hallucination play? Oh no, the High Templar are back into the fight. Psystorm and feedback can be used, and if you use the feedback, they're onto the Medivac with full energy. That's gonna pretty much blow the Medivac up. And the biggest change I've noticed about the High Temp is they finally, after a million years, they have a right click. So for people who don't know how to use caster abilities, you can finally attack with the High Templar, you know. It's really weak, but it's really amusing to finally have this for the high temp. And the Guardian Shield is being put up, and the Zealot's gonna charge in. Jack not really on point, but it step back a little too late there, just taking a bunch of damage. The Zealot's gonna back off for the time being, and here comes the re-engage. Charge there! Oh, the force fields right now just blocking evasion, and the Psy Storm into the middle with the Marines and Marauders stuck in place by the force field, just taking the full and majestic damage there from the Psy Storm. The brains being crackled by all that lightning. The Orbit Command being forced to lift off, and the SCP is just hiding in the corner, just being whipped into shape. The Immortal right now out in front, Star taking his speed grenades as well, and a Psy Storm, a huge Psy Storm there from eXo.Specs. The Liberator not really looking at the extract spot that he should be doing. And this is gonna be a back and forth here between both squads. JackDReaper though gonna back off, waiting for the rest of his army. The Liberator now gonna fly off into the sunset. Nope, gonna get blown up before he can even get some shots out. Force field is there, trapping a few SCVs in the manner. In the meantime, the High Templar using that sweet Mind Blast. The Sentry though out in front. This is gonna be a very heroic Sentry, but the Zealots are even more so. They're really living up to their namesake. The SCVs going for the shot, taking care of those mini warriors. But now here the Immortals doing so much damage there onto the SCV. Psy Storms onto the Fireball at the backline as well. High Templar gonna go for the back off. The Immortals out in front, exactly where you want them to go for the shield play. And this looks pretty bad here for JackDReaper. eXo.Specs is losing a lot out, but it's JackDReaper at 36 supply, and this is very dire here. He cleans this up, but will he actually continue on? Because eXo.Specs can come back into the fight really shortly. Oh no. Oh, that's GG. That was a very quick GG. So eXo.Specs at the end, just giving JackDReaper literally a taste of his own medicine, putting a drop in the base with those Zealots we saw a while ago. So interesting that he actually used the Zealots at the end. Just like, you know, it's like, haha, I can take the win here. And that's gonna be GG. It'll be 1-1 for between eXo.Specs and JackDReaper. So